Here we go. Perfect. All right, I want to do this. This could break it though.
Arrma's highly anticipated Kraton 6S V6 is finally here, guys. And check out this big speed claim over here on the side of the box. Real 65 plus miles an hour. How awesome does that sound? But here's the thing, they've got some fine print on here that's pretty bold. Arrma real speeds are genuine, verifiable, out-of-the-box speeds that you could trust while running the car in normal conditions, pack after pack. We aim for maximum drivability, punchy experience that does not overheat your vehicle. And then it basically goes on to say you can reach all these different speeds from beginner to pro up to 65 miles an hour with a stock out-of-the-box truck. No changes, just switching battery packs. But if you did want to go and tweak your truck, this thing is capable of going 80 plus miles an hour with a few changes that they show on their website. Pretty wild stuff from Arrma, and the changes that they made to the truck itself you need to see. I'm gonna go over all that now, and then we're gonna take it out for a rip. There it is, drivers, the V6 out of the box, and we've got some wild colors on this one. To be completely honest with you, when I saw the box art, I was like, wow, that's a bit much, but now that it's out of the box, it looks a lot better. The box art doesn't do it justice. I'm actually really excited to have this because there's my last Kraton 6S back there. I think that was a V2. That was back in the Habaco days. So that's how long it's been since I've had a 6S Kraton here. This is really cool. So starting off with the body, they've got two different colors. This one with the pink and blue, then they have one with orange and blue. It's got the newest Kraton body shape to it, a lot different from my old one. They've got the roof skids, but here's the thing, guys, no body clips on this one. Love that they're moving away from the body clips. They've got their push button set up where you push down on the plates in the front and in the rear. It's got spring clips underneath and it pops it out of the pins that are attached to the chassis. Still have the large double deck spoiler out back, just some new graphics on the side. Then check out the front bumper. No mini bumper, they have the EXB bumper on the front, and you're actually gonna see a lot of EXB parts on this when I pull the body off. But first, check out the tires. These are the Copperhead 2s, mounted on black spoke wheels, definitely a favorite among bashers. Now let's get this body off. There's a look at those body support plates. It's actually a large plate, and then they have the inner structure that goes down to the chassis. Take a look at this all business basher. This thing looks pretty sick. Wait till you see some of the changes that they made. We're gonna start off with the front. I've already gone over the bumper. Check out the shocks. I believe the previous version had red anodized bodies. They've gone to the black bodies now that were on the EXB. And speaking of EXB, it has the aluminum EXB caps on it. It has the heavy duty post, and they're attached to this 5mm thick shock tower. It is the stamped shock tower, not the machine one. I like that they've got the big bulky arms, little caps on the end of the lower arms so they don't split. And you see this new steering knuckle on the outside. No longer has the Allen head plug in it. It now has caps on it that have 4 screws to hold that end plate in place so it doesn't blow out like the old ones did, or even back off. This is now a secure steering knuckle setup, and it's dual shear where the steering link attaches to. So some nice changes to the suspension. Inboard, you could see that it looks like composite plates to hold the suspension, but those are just end caps. There's actually aluminum plates underneath these. Then it's got the sway bars, adjustable steering links, aluminum Ackerman bar, and the steering, check out the steering, guys. It has the aluminum top arm that we saw on the EXB. It also has the EXB top stiffener plate. So this steering setup is built to last. And then they even have a 25-tooth aluminum servo arm on it. Then the rear kind of looks similar to the previous version. You got the heavy duty arms, 5mm thick shock tower. It does have the EXB shocks on it now and bulky hubs on the outside. Adjustable upper links, always love when they include those. The heavy duty posts up top, so this is built for bashing. Then actually here's the pins for the body posts. These look pretty well braced. I don't think those are gonna break off in a crash. And now let's get into the chassis, because this is a major change that a lot of people are gonna get excited about. They got rid of the stamp plate chassis and they gave us the 7075 plate. So this is gonna be a lot stronger, much higher grade of aluminum. They've got their cool etching on the bottom with the EXB logo. And then check out the rear skid. Yeah, that's a steel plate, guys. No more wearing down the plastic plate. This thing looks absolutely cool. Back up top, check out the battery tray. There's a little change here. You notice these big heavy-duty Velcro straps on it. How awesome is this? These look like they'll secure the battery. And then they still have a standard strap, which just kind of helps secure the battery in place, and it holds down the battery connectors. Sealed receiver box, and then they have a composite servo mount and a plate for the speed controller. But the center bracing has been changed up. They went away from that single brace, and they went with the EXB setup, which is the twin rod and then the center mount. Lower chassis braces are still the composite. Onto the driveline, I think this is pretty much unchanged from the previous version. So you got CV drive shafts up front, dog bones in the center, and the 5mm thick dog bones in the rear, the heavy duty out drives, and then 3 sealed gear differentials, all metal gears on the inside, metal ring and pinion, metal spur gear. But the center differential still has the composite cup on it. Kind of wish they gave us the upgrade there. Love that they gave us the red anodized motor plate. And actually, let's get into the electronics now. So up front for steering, there's the 665 servo, metal gears on the inside, waterproof, and then the speed controller. We've got some changes. This is the latest Spectrum Firma 150, and they've updated the firmware. It's supposed to be much more responsive, better power, better feel. It's got a cooling fan up top, a large cooling fan actually, then the IC5 plugs. You are gonna need some batteries for this, either two 2S packs, two 3S packs, or if you wanna get a 4S pack, 6S pack. You could do whatever you want. They give you the jumper plug if you need that. And then into the motor, they've got a 2050 kV motor, the big heat sink on it, large cooling fan. And then into the radio system, they gave us a Spectrum SLT3, 2.4 gig, good feel to it, foam wheel. And I saw that it had the orange button in the back, but it doesn't have that new DSC that they've been including in some of their other vehicles, their new releases. They gave us the 315 receiver in there, which means it's dual protocol, so it's gonna run on SLT and it's gonna run on DSMR. So if you do want to go and upgrade your radio system, you got a lot of options from Spectrum. And finally, here's the rest of the stuff that comes in the box. So you get some basic tools. I like that they're giving the better tools that we saw in some of the other cars. Here's your box wrenches and wheel wrench, instruction manual, some decals, and an exploded view.
Okay guys, it's an awesome day out. Time to test out this beautiful truck. Oh man, this thing looks good. And watch it fly. Perfect. A little bounce at the end. I mean, we're flat landing this thing, so we got a big 6S basher pack in it. It's got some weight to it. So what do you guys think of the new look? A little too vibrant? I don't know, it's kind of 80s vibe to me, but it's still pretty cool. I kind of wish there was one option with the classic Arrma red and black. That would have been cool, even with these stripes. Let me know what you guys think of the look down below in the comments. This jump's got a big lip to it, but first I just want to give you a nice smooth jump, flat land, not too much of a bounce, we're good. Nice and controllable though. Man, I missed the 6S Kraton. So happy with this one. Look at that, serious air. Body popped up again. Look, it's on there. All right, we gotta try a backflip. I'm worried about that body though. Here we go. Perfect. Oh, that was so perfect. Gotta do it again, right? Here we go. Man, this thing is money. I think the new ESC tune is going to be perfect for those looking for some power. Go through the half bowl here. Really happy with the steering on this. Now we've got a worthwhile servo in there. Plenty of steering. The servo saver assembly, keeping it in check. Look at that. Not a problem. We don't even need that DSC. This is a pure driving experience. Yeah, awesome. Such a beast. Now we're running it through the smooth whoops. Just kind of finesse it. Nice easy landings. The suspension's good for this. I bet you the suspension and the driveline is gonna be really good with a 4S pack right out of the box. 6S guys might want to start tuning it a little bit. All depends on how you're gonna use it, really. Another rip through, just nice and light. Look at that. Not everything has to be a big air bash. Over this whoop, yeah. Little break in the air, little nose wheelie. This thing is just action packed. Little cross up, whip it. Let's hit it again. It's just nice and light. Let it float. Truck's like driving itself. Go through the whoops here. A little flat land. Losing depth perception. Uh-oh, something happened. So look at that. That's just probably an assembly error. I didn't take that off. But at least it was just a nut that was lost, nothing broken. You guys didn't think I was gonna skip out on the skate park, did you? So I did go and switch up to a 4S pack. Thought a 6S would be a little too much for this park since I'm still new to it. I think it's still gonna be fun. Just take it nice and easy to start, get a feel for it. Such a smooth truck. Steering's a little less here, a little push. There we go, I'm ramping up. All right, so here's full punch on 4S, as much as I can do in the park. Oh man. The suspension handles really good on 4S. That's where it's at. So I think anybody running on 4S, the setup out of the box is gonna be perfect for you. It's when you switch it up to 6S, probably have to change out those diff oils. Go a little heavier on the shock oils too. Yeah, spin it. We'll jump off the bump, here we go. Perfect. Well, I flipped it, but check this out, guys. Chassis taking a beating here. All those scrapes on that steel skid plate, that thing's coming in handy. Before I get too wild, I want to go over to the Dome of Doom. Shout out to the viewer that named it from the last video. There it is, guys. Awesome. Here we go, up through it. Love how fast it just rips through that. I want to do a full loop. I don't want to do the small arcs. I want to do the full loop. There we go. Come on, baby, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, that was a hit. We still good? Arrma tough still. It's got so much punch that it actually just pulls a wheelie up in that loop. All right, I want to do this. This could break it though. Oh man, I landed it. The body popped off though. That was sick. Oh, heart's pumping, guys. Heart is pumping. Wow. That, oh my God. And it took it. All right, I'm not chancing anymore. That was sick. Of course, we got to speed test it. Here we go. Road looks clear. Flip it around. Here we go. That thing is moving. I think Arrma's right. Can't wait to see what this is. Sounds so mean too. Those copperheads. Those are nasty. All right, what do you think? 67 miles an hour. They nailed it. Man, that was so cool. It's actually been about an hour since I last drove this truck, and the adrenaline is still going, guys. That clues you in on how exciting the new Kraton is. You know, at the BMX track, it was absolutely awesome. Then at the skate park, that I would just have to label as epic. I had so much fun there. And then speed testing it, I mean, it was just intense. The sound coming out of this truck as it hit 67 miles an hour. Arrma, I mean, they just put out some really killer stuff. The Kraton has been a favorite for a long time. I'm super stoked to have the latest version. It's been way too long since I drove one. I absolutely think this is a gotta get truck if you're an Arrma fan looking to get into one. Now the price on it is $599.99. And that's about $50, well, that is $50 more than the previous version. However, going over all the changes that they made to the truck, I think it's actually worth it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good price. It's on point with some of the other stuff out there, and you get a lot of updates in this one. You get that 7075 chassis. I think that right there is worth it. You get the new hubs on it. You get better tie rods. I forgot to mention that before. These look better than the V5 from what I was checking out. You get the 150 amp speed controller with the new firmware in it. And by the way, the temperatures were on that were just fine. I checked it after a 6S pack and a 4S pack just for fun. The motor and the speed controller were both cool. You get the better front bumper. You get that steel skid plate. And you get the clipless body. However, I did pop it off a few times, and you know, it's just really easy to pop back on, but just, I mean, something to throw out at you guys, not a major deal. And as far as the nut falling off the shock post, there's a large steel washer there. I think it's to help with support of the post. However, if you get rid of those washers, that nylock on the nut actually captures the post screw and everything is fine. So I don't know if you want to take those off. It doesn't seem like it's binding if you take that washer out. So that might just be a really easy fix. But this thing is a beast, an absolute beast, and it's super tough. Nothing to really report other than the body popping off. Guys, this thing is sick. I'll have a link for it in the video description below if you got to get one for yourself.